Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. Now, a number of people have been in touch with me and saying, hey Richard, do you know what's happened to Funky Prepper? You remember Funky Prepper. He'd been on my show a couple of times, and when I was banned from YouTube because I'd said something rather silly or whatever it was, and I got kicked off for a week or so, he very kindly invited me on and said, come and let everybody know that you're okay, and that you haven't sort of fallen down a mine shaft and disappeared into the Outer Hebrides or somewhere like that. And I said, oh, that's very kind of him. And it was very, very nice of him, because he has a similar audience to what I have. Anyway, he's disappeared. He's vanished off the face of the earth. The other day, I did a little mention out and said, does anybody know what's happened to him? And didn't really have anything back from that other than a few people who were very worried. Well, I have had a phone call from Darren, otherwise known as Funky Prepper. By the way, this is his website. His YouTube channel, Funky Prepper. If you don't know who he is, what he does is he does stuff about prepping. Here we go. Look. News about prepping, how to look after yourself in the woods and how to protect yourself from, starving and going under and all those sort of things. If the worst happened in the world, he would be giving you plenty of advice on all of that. And there we are. Look, there's the video in which I could just see it down there. Richard Vobes banned on YouTube some months ago. And he'd been very, very kind mate. Anyway, he disappeared. And people were going, well, what's happened to him? Where is he? So I finally got a phone call from him, and unfortunately, like all of us, we all go through this. We perhaps cross a line that's very difficult to know where that line is because of the terms and conditions of YouTube are very vague. They don't say, well, hold on a second, you can't say this and you can't say that, or you can't do this. And it's very difficult to try and sort of push as far as you can and challenge certain things because, freedom of the press and all that sort of stuff, the ability to be able to say, I'm a bit concerned about what's going on in the world, and are you concerned? Sharing opinions, that type of thing. And sometimes you cross the line. I've said things myself on various occasions that YouTube have not been very happy about. And sometimes these messages seem to not come from YouTube per se, but from the World Health Organization. If you've made an allegation or you've sort of hinted that something is likely to be happening, because that's how you've read the other bits of press. None of us actually know. We're not there in the dungeons where all the sort of, the dark forces are sitting there making their plans. And slowly and surely they make their plans against us. You don't know. So you're trying to read, between the lines, what's happening, trying to help people. People send you information. You've no idea. You try and verify bits and pieces, and you think, well, actually, that does sound like the sort of playbook they're working from, all that kind of stuff. So, it's very easy to fall foul when you're in this line of business. And all you're trying to do, all people like Funky Prepper and myself are just trying to help humanity deal with the various strange nature of the world. We all feel it, don't we? I mean, I talk about the government and some of their strange policies that they put out there. They seem very anti-human, these policies. They don't seem to be of benefit for the people. And I'm often saying, surely democracy is from the bottom up, not the top down. And I've talked about that enough times. Well, what's happened to Funky Prepper? That's what you'll be asking me. Well, tell us, Mr. Vobes, what is it all about? Well, as far as I know, he has somehow, and I don't know the details, he couldn't tell me too much, but he has fallen foul of, the powers that be on YouTube, and he has been kicked off for a time until middle of January, he reckons. So that's what's happened to him. But he was reading that some people thought he was dead, and he said the problem is that he's unable to get online at the moment. He's not got a phone, and he's had to borrow a phone in order to contact me. But the problem is, when you do this, you're relying on money coming in from the advertising or donations or any affiliate links that you might have on YouTube. It becomes a business, and people enjoy it, and they watch your videos, and they say, keep going, keep doing more. We'd love to do more. And so you set yourself up on this channel, whatever channel it is on YouTube, and you throw everything you've got at it. But then, if, for whatever reason, powers that be say, oi, you can't come on the channel anymore, you suddenly realise, oh, hang on a second, what am I supposed to do now? And it's a kind of a way of silencing people, isn't it? You see this all the time, the council culture in which people are cancelled all the time in order to shut them up. Now, I don't really know what's going on with Funky Prepper, but I can tell you that for the moment, he is unable to get online. He's unable to make calls. He hasn't got a laptop. He's having to borrow bits and pieces from other people, and he is financially strapped. Now, if you are one of his fans and you're worried about him, you might want, as indeed I shall, make a donation to him to keep him going. Christmas is coming. He's got a young boy. And in order to sort of pay the bills when you're not doing what you normally do, and trying to find, another form of employment temporarily, because he wants to come back. This is in his blood. He wants to come out and share with the world his knowledge of prepping and all the things that he does. But if you want to help him out, I will put the link to his PayPal account in the description here, and you can make a donation and keep him able to be afloat so that he can get some more gear together and get back and carry on with what he is good at. And so he asked me if I could help out. And I said, well, of course, you've helped me in the past. It is a worry, though, isn't it? Because, and I don't know, as I say, I don't know Funky Prepper's situation, but people do suddenly mysteriously disappear. And they're suddenly taken out of the limelight. Their message is not permitted to get going. So I just want to say, by the way, as talking about these slightly melodramatic situations, that if I suddenly disappear and I haven't told you, if I suddenly vanish and you're unable to get hold of me, who knows what might happen? You sail close to the wind, and sometimes you just never quite know if something happens. As I say, you fall down a mine shaft and you haven't got Skippy to come and go, what's that? Vobes has fallen down a mine shaft? Okay, Skip, we'll get down there and find him. You haven't got international rescue, bum-ba-da-dum, da-da-dum-dum, coming out looking for you. You could disappear for some time and people may not know what's happened to you. So if I suddenly vanish, in the middle of the night, banging on the door, somebody comes in, whips you away, you'll know. Send out the search party. Do what you can. But we do need you. That's the funny, weird, strange and enlightening thing in this situation is when you're suddenly vanishing, it is nice to know that you're missed and people can get in touch somehow or other and see what's going on, because it can be frightening this side of the camera when you just never know. Now, as I say, I've no idea what's happened really, because he couldn't really say. He was in a bit of a rush on somebody else's phone. He just wanted to let me know that he will be back in January, hopefully, and that he is just struggling. And we were all slightly worried. People were emailing in, as I say. So if you can help him out, that would be fantastic. And if you see any other well-known mainstream YouTube-y type people disappear, do let me know. I'm just curious now to see if this sort of thing is happening in any kind of, orchestrated fashion. I mean, we know that the powers that be don't like to be criticised, they don't like to be laughed at, but surely it is perfectly normal and liable for us as concerned people to talk about the policies that are coming down and the things that government are doing if they're not supported, if they're fraudulent, if it's corruption, if it shouldn't be done, and if it's harmful. And I think that's what we should be doing. And they should be pleased that we're doing that, because aren't the people supposed to be holding the government to account? Isn't that the job of all of us, to make sure the people that we pay with our taxes do just what we want them to do, rather than getting a little bit out of hand? Who knows? Who knows? These days, everything is on shaky ground. But anyway, that's what's happened to Funky. He's disappeared. He will be back. He is okay, but he would appreciate some help. So if you're able to make a donation, that would be fantastic. Till next time, thank you for watching.